Greek riot police have closed down a temporary transit camp used by refugees and migrants on the border with Macedonia. The action comes as Balkan countries, including Macedonia, have closed their frontiers to all nationalities except those from Syria, Iraq, and Afghanistan. That leaves thousands of so-called economic migrants hoping to reach northern Europe stranded in Greece. From the border, special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports.
The police sealed off the village of Idomeni at dawn and expelled news teams from the makeshift camp so the operation would not be conducted under the glare of publicity. Extra riot police in full battle gear were brought in, and there are claims on social media that excessive force was used to remove people from their tents. Hundreds of migrants were placed on buses and sent back to Athens and the northern city of Salonika. The closure of the camp provoked strong emotions from Jenny Östlund, a volunteer from Sweden.
Driving them back to Athens without a real option, like we don't really know what they will be forced to do now. Will they be deported from Athens, or like these people need a viable option right now, and just moving them from one place to another will not take care of their situation right now.
The Greek operation represents a substantial change in policy because for months they had helped refugees on their way north. But the Greeks' hand was forced by the Balkan countries, which had decided that they would only accept refugees from the conflicts in Iraq, Syria and Afghanistan.
Open the border! Open the border! No go back! No go back!
These were the poignant poster boys of the last demonstration about the double anguish of thwarted journeys and reluctance to retrace steps.
We feel cold! We feel cold! Find a solution! Find a solution!
Osman Zira was an airport worker in Morocco. Weary of what he called bad democracy and insecure employment prospects, he joined the migrant trail. But the thousands he spent to get here so far count for nothing.
Please, open the border!
Europe needs so much more people to work for them, because European people not gonna work like us. We can work Saturday, we can work Sunday, we can go after hours of work, we can work more hours for work, but we can be cheap for, you understand me?
2 decades into Europe's open border project, razor wire now separates some countries in Central Europe and the Balkans. The Macedonian government claims it erected the fence to improve control of the migrant flow. This gate was the only entry point for Syrians, Iraqis and Afghans. The Macedonians rejected anyone with suspicious papers. They protested that they were one people, but the migrant trail now has a class system that is frustrating Tazdak Hussain from Pakistan.
If we have no problem there, why I come here? We have much problems there in Pakistan, and therefore we come here, and no man want to leave her family, her homeland, if there is a suitable job and other things available in his country.
George Cosmopoulos from Amnesty International could offer nothing but sympathy.
I don't think they'll let it pass, at least for the moment. I don't know what the police will do. I'm really sorry, I cannot help you.
Everyone substantially has the right to claim asylum, has the right to explain their individual circumstances, and then there should be a decision whether these people are refugees or not. What we are actually seeing here is just people being divided according to nationality and nothing else. And that's discrimination. It's not fair, to put it simple, because anyone can be a refugee, anyone might have protection needs, and this is simply not taken into account here.
Before the closure, Alexandros Vulgaris from the UN Refugee Agency failed to persuade these young Somalis to consider returning to Athens or perhaps beyond.
Why are you still here when you see and you know that this is a policy decision and countries have taken this decision for you?
Maybe we will say they will change their opinion. Always, I believe one day it will be changed.
The door is closed and they need to start considering their other options.
And what are those options?
For those that have refugee profiles, the asylum procedures. For those that do not have, there is also IOM, the International Organization for Migration, where they can apply to return to their countries.
What happened? Morocco. Earlier this week, the Macedonians deported scores of economic migrants. Some appear to be injured after crossing mountains from Greece. Human rights groups have repeatedly accused the Macedonians of firing rubber bullets at asylum seekers.
Thank you, Greece. Police Greece, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. أنا صوروا هادوك اللي ما خلاوناش كتصور فيا وجانا. No picture. McDonald's.
So where do the rejected migrants go now? Yanis Papageorgiou, a political scientist who specializes in immigration policy, believes they will try alternative routes to get out of Greece.
As far as the risk of refugees or migrants staying in Greece, yes, it is a genuine risk. To some extent, I think that the economic situation of the country would deter them from staying long, because they have nothing to do. It is difficult to survive in Greece even, and they would have to live in some form of camps, which I don't think they would.
We want freedom! We want freedom! We want freedom! We want freedom!
But Europe is becoming increasingly deaf to this appeal. Even the more hospitable nations like Germany and Sweden are promising to deport those who don't merit political asylum. Idomeni represents a new European reality. It's a field of broken dreams. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Malcolm Brabant on the Greek-Macedonian border.